Hello again, everyone. Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive, along with me, John Paul Ray, our Deputy Executive. Just giving you a quick update on what's going on with the COVID crisis here in Macomb County. John Paul, what do the numbers look like so far?
So, Mark, we continue to track the numbers throughout the month of July here. The interesting thing is about throughout the month now, we've had about 1,100 cases, only 9 deaths, and unfortunately, every death is obviously something that we very much take to heart in the county, but substantially lower numbers that we've seen in past months. I think the other interesting trend that we've seen is nearly 6,200 individuals in Macomb County alone who have been certified as a recovery from the coronavirus. So again, illustrates the whole notion of contain and manage the virus on all fronts on that side. I think the other interesting too is the increase of tests. We've peaked out about 1,800 tests a day. That's a great number out there to understanding the spread of the virus, and then using that information with our health department with the contact tracing and understanding how we can get our accredited health professionals to engage those folks that unfortunately have contracted the disease, and then taking the guidelines as far as how they need to move forward.
And testing, obviously, go to macombgov.org. There's availability of information so that you can find out how to get tested. A lot of sites still available, and as John Paul just got through mentioning, a lot of people taking advantage of that because we're testing more than we've ever tested before. So yes, there have been some uptick, I guess, if you will, in the number of cases we're seeing here in Macomb County in comparison to this month to last month, but still very much lower than what we saw in the onset when we had April numbers. April numbers were awful. So again, the death totals, again, sad that there are 9 people that have died this month as a result of it, but still a lot less than what we had seen from the month of April, which were there were 600 at that time. So interesting enough, even CDC guidelines, they change as time goes on. If you remember early on, not wearing masks, now we're telling everybody to wear a mask. But also we're starting to see that CDC has changed a little bit in their idea or the thought about people that have tested positive. Now they're saying, for a 10-day period after that, if you're not showing any signs or symptoms, you should be okay, and that they're not recommending a secondary test to make a determination as to whether or not you still have this. So interesting. We're going to continue to see some, I guess, adjustments from guidelines of CDC. We're going to continue to follow those as we navigate through this particular crisis, specifically here in Macomb County.
You what it boils down to is that personal responsibility, understanding that if there is an onset of symptoms with yourself or someone in your family, taking that information, using it, whether you choose not to go get a test, giving that information to a physician, and then understanding how you and your family should respond. It's something that we continually track on a day in, day out basis, not only with our own operations here at the county with our 2,800 plus employees, but also from an EOC and a health department perspective, we're helping other employers and other elements of our economy and society as we phase back in those elements.
Yeah, so again, our health department's on top of this. They're keeping an eye on every case that comes through and doing the contact tracing, so we're fortunate with that. This is going to be a quick update here today, and again, we want to remind people, again, the census 2020, fill it out, bring back our money. We're seeing in Macomb County still tracking between that third and fourth in the entire country, and yet the Macomb County of all counties are still number 16 in the entire country. So that's a good sign, but we still want to remind people to fill out those censuses. And also a reminder that the primary election is coming up next Tuesday. And so if you haven't already signed up to get an absentee ballot, you can do that. You still have time to get your absentee ballot, but you have until Friday of this week to actually sign up for that. And you need to get a hold of your local township and or city clerk to try to get that, absentee ballot. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to show up in person and stand in a very unique line to vote in person, which is going to be a lot different than I think we've seen before. So again, just want to remind everybody that, voting is important. It's your constitutional right. So don't forget to vote next Tuesday during that primary election.
Mark, it's been great to see not only as the county clerk, Fred Miller, but also our clerks across the county have been able to develop different options in individuals, not only with the increase of individuals seeking out absentee ballots, but also putting in those precautionary measures that choose to go to the polls next Tuesday.
So remember, make sure you fill out that census form. Make sure you get yourself prepared to vote next Tuesday, but more importantly, continue to keep you and your family safe. Thank you once again.